Hi. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Katie Housley, and we're supposed to be sharing our testimonies this morning. So I'm going to share mine with you. I'm going to start by reading my favorite scripture verse. The first time I read it, I was 12 or 13, and from then on it was my absolute favorite. It says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. Then you will call upon me and come and pray to me, and I will listen to you. You will speak to me and find me when you seek me with all your heart. I will be found by you, declares the Lord, and will bring you back from captivity. I will gather you from all the nations and places where I have banished you, declares the Lord, and will bring you back to the place from which I carried you into exile." For me, this scripture verse I can't explain it. It just, all of the words summed up have brought me where I am today. When I was 13, I was kind of lost. I didn't know what I was supposed to do in life. I had no real big plans so far. I was 13. And so I read the scripture verse one day, and I was like, wow, maybe I am supposed to do something with my life. And little did I know, God thought so too. And I picked up my guitar, and I didn't know how to play anything but a G. And I wrote this song, and when I was writing it, and I was playing it, I was singing it, it was like an out-of-body experience, because for me, I didn't think I was actually able to do it. Like, after it was done and everyone was like, "Oh, it's so great," I was like, yeah, I know, right? I don't know. And so I guess it was when I read that scripture verse at 13, God's voice really spoke to me, and he was like, wake up, because I have plans for you. You can't just sit here and watch everyone else do amazing things. You have to do them yourself. And it's my 6th grade year. Beginning of my 6th grade year, I was homeschooled. And through the first semester, I hated it. I hate homeschool because there's no one to talk to but my dad and my brother. And I love them, but every day it gets a little boring. And so this school, Tyler Street Christian Academy, called me and offered me a scholarship to attend there. And I was scared, but God's voice spoke to me, and he was like, this is where I need you to be. And so I attended there from the 2nd semester of my 6th grade year all the way to 8th grade. And then he spoke to me again, and he said, I have prepared you now, and I'm sending you to the front lines. You're going to go to a real high school, and you're going to share me with everyone. And it was really, really scary because I'd never been to a high school before, and from what I heard in the movies and stuff, it looked pretty scary, so I was really afraid. But he spoke to me and he said, I'm taking you from your safe Christian school where it's easy to be a Christian, and I'm going to put you with people who aren't Christ-like, and you're going to have to be strong, and you're going to have to fight. And so this year I've been going to Midlothian High School, and it's been amazing. It's been hard at times because some of my friends, they don't understand how close my relationship with Christ is. And every day I get to share with a new person his plan for me. And though I don't know the whole plan yet, it's still going to draw out through the years. I have a good feeling that it's going to be something great, and it's going to be for his glory. And so if you're young and you don't know what God has in store for you, just listen to his voice, because he will speak to you, and he'll send you places you never thought you could go.
A lot of you here know my story. I've been a part of this church for 12 years, but if you don't know, there are some not so great things that have happened in my life. Parents divorced, I've had friends that have negative behaviors on me, and I've been influenced by them. As all of us face with trials and temptations, and I've also had low self-esteem. Through these things, I've seen God work in many different ways in my life. Through scripture and praising God, I've become stronger in my faith and look toward God at all times. Through his word, he has shown me Deuteronomy 31:6, which says, "Be strong, take courage, do not be intimidated. Don't give them a second thought, because God, your God, is striding ahead of you. He is right there with you. He won't let you down. He won't leave you." Through prayer, he's helped me through the difficult days. I've always knew there were people in my life who cared, were praying with me. Many of you are right here in this core. God still blesses me during not the great times, and I know God uses people to work in my life. Through people and situations, I'm learning to recognize God's voice speaking to me. I thank God for Casey and his Christian example and love for us. The voice that has been with me throughout my life is my mom, because no matter what I'm going through, she's always there. She knows the best example of a Christian. She's been there a lot. We've been through a lot these past few years. She's helped me who I want to become, knowing that she's an example of what I want to become. She and Casey want the best for me, and they support me no matter what I do. I'm going to Asbury in the fall, and I'm going to miss all of you, and I just look forward to what God has planned for me.
Good morning. My name is David Leal. For those, many people do know, and some people don't. This year, on April 1st, I got into my first car wreck, coming home from youth councils, Camp Hospital. Long story short, I hit a dip on the road, causing me to go off the road, and I miscorrected, ended up flipping my car 2 or 3 times. All the windows were busted, everything was flying out. My tennis racket was like on the other side of the road. Everything else was just scattered all over the grass. Luckily, I landed upright, and I got out, and there happened to be a car driving towards me, and I was thankful for that. He ended up calling 911, and the ambulance came, and I got checked out or whatever. And after when I got being checked out, I went to my car to pull out anything that I had left over in there, and everything was basically gone. I was all on the grass, except for when I went to the passenger seat. Up in the visor, there was a picture that I keep on the passenger side. It was a picture of a guardian angel that I always keep everywhere I drive. And it was still in that same spot, pulled by a paperclip, where everything else was flying out, and it was the only thing that was left in my car. I wish I known I was getting a testimony, I would have brought it. It has a message on the back, and I read it, and when I was reading it, I just hear God's voice talking to me. And I have a Bible verse, Joshua 1:9. "Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged. For the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go." And I have that. I always carry my high school ring around, and I not only have my name engraved inside of my ring, but I also have that verse, Joshua 1:9, inside of my ring, wherever. And I keep that ring almost with me wherever I go. And I'm thankful for I'm here today, alive. Nothing was wrong with me. That next Monday, Heaven Sunday, the next morning I was up. I wasn't even sore. My neck wasn't sore, and I was playing my tennis match the next day. And I'm just thankful that I'm here and be able to go to the weekends to my friend's house and whatnot.
Well, hi, I'm Caitlin. That's my sister over there, and my mom, and Casey. And I'm just going to start. So I've always been a person who's enjoyed really inspiring life testimonies, where someone's gone through devastating or hard situations, and then had a total transformation of salvation experience, and that turned their lives completely around. I sometimes even thought maybe I should go through these experiences, so some more awful things, so I can have a better testimony. But I now know that God was protecting me. Growing up for me, like my sister, as an officer's kid in the Salvation Army, moving from place to place, new places, new schools, new corps, new friends, and sometimes the changes were good and sometimes they were hard. I was saved at a really young age at Camp Hobbletel, actually, and pretty much I was at church all the time. I was still faced with some of the same problems that some of you go through. Family problems, I still had struggles and faced with trials and temptations. However, what I've learned over the past few years is how good and faithful God really is. When I'm going through things, He knows exactly what to say. I feel that God has always been there for me, but He's also surrounded me with people and voices and influences around me to keep me grounded in my faith. Through all the changes and trials I go through, one constant is in my life, and it's the Salvation Army. Through Corps Cadets, music programs, camp programs, and I'm grateful for all the opportunities and experiences I get. I'm also grateful for the leaders that God put in my life, the voices, influence. But mostly, sometimes we're faced with influence of not the so right voices or the bad voices that you hear, and it's hard to know which one's good, which one's bad, which one do I listen to. And I think what I tried and learned to listen to is the voice of God. However, the voice of God can come through so many different things, through prayer, through word, through people even. And I just, for the longest time, I had the hardest time communicating with God. Like, I would always, I go to church, I'm doing the right things, but there's still something missing, or there's something not there. It's not deep enough. And I'd pray to God and be like, God, can you communicate to me? Can you tell me what I need to do? And He's been talking to me all along. He's been there with me all along, and He's always been there through people, through my friends, in my heart. He's always here, and He's always my home. And I pray that as I, go on through life and new changes, new things, that God's always with me, and He's always with you.